Well, welcome back, and I really enjoyed the discussion for weeks 1 and 2. I'm sending this to you on Saturday afternoon because I notice there are some of you that need to be reminded that the hard deadline for 1 and 2, unless you have a letter of accommodations that you've given me, is Monday, July 4th at 11:59 p.m. That week 1 and week 2 both have to be done at that time. Now, I'll say it one more time. The first 2 weeks I blend together, although I had a soft deadline for week 1 for last Monday, but a soft deadline for week 1, but everything is a hard deadline due Monday night, and then I take points off per the late work policy if you don't get it in, unless you've given me a letter of accommodations. So if you've given me that letter, you don't need to email me, I know who you are. That said, I wanted to just bring to mind a few things that we talked about in the last couple of weeks that I was very impressed by. First of all, I really appreciated those of you who emailed me asking if you could go more than 350 words. That's a minimum. That to me says you really want to get the most out of the material, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Did I say really? And secondly, the conscientiousness that most of you have shown has impressed me greatly. I believe we have a really good group of students this year, and I'm excited about the year with our students. I think the interviewers did a good job. We had some great applicants, of which you are some of them. And just overall, I have a good feeling about this year. A couple of things from the discussions in weeks 1 and 2. Now, I've looked at all of week 1, and I've looked at the first one on week 2. I'll look at the second one later this week because people have been late doing the second one for week 2. First, Piaget, for those of us who are teaching P5 learners, you're in the pre-operational phase and the next stage of Piaget's development, whereas those of us who may be teaching high school, it's formal operations, and so on. As you go forward teaching these learners that you'll be teaching come fall, ask yourselves, what's the role of technology in all of this? Because I am studying the technological impact on the various stages of human development. And that leads me to the next consideration, which is the consideration of Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences and Kohlberg's theory of moral development. What is it that you noticed in terms of how technology is impacting how people learn and their roles in society? I'm beginning to understand, based on my own observations of K-12 learners or P-12 learners, that technology is impacting how people feel about their roles in society. I never go anywhere without this now. I never do. And I notice most people don't either. And half the time, people are so focused on the phone, they're not thinking about the world around them. What would Kohlberg say about that? Just be thinking about that as you go forward. Now, you don't have to mention it on the discussion boards, but I would ask you to consider it in terms of your teaching. What role does this play, even in the most disadvantaged of circumstances? Some of you will be teaching learners who come from very disadvantaged circumstances. You're going to be finding that technology impacts how they view themselves in society. I'm very grateful to those of you who pointed out the inconsistencies in the course materials and the assignment due dates. I fixed that, and so the multiple intelligences test and paper is due August 8th. But I would submit to you that if you can get that test done, it's a really good exercise. It takes no more than 30 minutes to do the exercise, and the paper shouldn't take you more than an hour. Get that out of the way. I think you'll get more out of the class if you do that before August 8th. I am very much an intrapersonal learner, so I work better in this environment where I'm in my house and I've got my movie set up and all that, and I act like I can really do a good job on this. But I'm much more comfortable here than I am in front of a group of learners. I've learned that about myself. That doesn't mean I can't do it. I was a very highly regarded teacher in the K-12 arena, and I'm also highly regarded whenever I do teach on campus. Some of the feedback I get is, wish we could have him more on campus. I say that with a deep sense of humility. Then I'm also very proud of my humility. That's a joke. But the fact is that I do prefer to teach online, and I want you to know that I'm looking at all your posts. But in terms of your own learning style, and if you frame it out in Kohlberg's theory of moral development, I don't want you talking at me. I want you talking with each other. And so what I'm asking you to do is talk with each other as you have been doing. And as the course goes along, I'll weigh in more. Now, I weighed in at the end as of Saturday at 1:45 p.m. Saturday, July 2nd at 1:45 p.m. I've weighed in on those first 3 discussions, and I read the others. I want you to really focus on working together, developing that social contract that Kohlberg speaks of, and learning how to look out for each other in your cohort. One of the reasons why we have a cohort model is so that you all start to look out for each other. And that will come in great stead when you start your field placement. So let's get the discussions done by Monday, July 4th at 11:59 p.m. Your grades will be posted by Thursday morning. I take about 48 to 60 hours to post the grades. So by Thursday morning, your grades for the first 2 weeks will be posted. And going forward, you'll have grades up every Thursday morning by 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to fly by now, so get used to it. We're in here now with both feet. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for a good week.